Namaste to all students. Myself JVN Dr. Khushbu Verma from Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science. Today we are going to discuss about endoplasmic reticulum, and this session is related to cell biology course of program BTech FBT and BSc FST second sem. So first of all, you have to know about that what is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is an organelle of the cell and it is present in the within the cell, and it is a network of the membrane found throughout the cell and connected to the nucleus. The membranes are slightly different from the cell to cell, and a cell functions determines the size and the structure of the ER. For example, some cells, such as prokaryotes or red blood cells, do not have any ER of any kind. Means, as we know that there are two types of the endoplasmic reticulum, but in the case of prokaryotic cells and red blood cells, don't have any kind of a endoplasmic reticulum. Cells that synthesize and releases a lot of proteins would need a large amount of the ER. It means which cells are involved in the more amount of the protein production, they will have large amount of the ER. They will be enriched with the ER. And you might look at a cell from the pancreas or liver. For good examples of the cells with large ER structures, means in pancreas and liver we need more enzymes, means we need more proteins. So that's why there in the cells of the liver and pancreas, more ERs and large ER structures will be present. So that's how we can conclude it that if cell is having more ER and large ER structures, means that cell is actively participating in the protein synthesis and the release of lot of proteins and enzymes. Now come to the types of the ER. So ER basically having two types, rough ER and smooth ER. So there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Both rough and smooth have same types of the membrane, but they have different shapes. Rough endoplasmic reticulum look like a sheets or disc of bumpy membranes, while smooth endoplasmic reticulum look like more tube. And one more difference present in between rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Rough ER is having ribosomes attached on its surface. On the other hand, smooth ER will not have any kind of a attached ribosome on its surface. And the double membrane of smooth and rough ER form sac, which are also known as cisternae. Protease molecules, when synthesized and collected in the cisternal space, which is also known as lumen, and the basically cisternal blank space, and that cavity is known as lumen. So protein molecules which have been synthesized and they will be collected into the lumen of the cisternae. When enough proteins have been synthesized, they collect and pinch off in the vesicle. Means vesicles will be created from the cisternae, and these vesicles will have enough proteins, and these vesicle further move to the Golgi apparatus for additional protein packaging and distribution, means additional modification and additional glycosylation, whatever we need and whatever the needed according to the cell requirement, so it will be happen in the Golgi apparatus, Golgi body. So that's how enzymes, means proteins, will transfer from the ER to the Golgi apparatus by vesicles, and these vesicles have been created from the cisternae, and they will be pinch off from the cisternae and then further will move to the Golgi apparatus, and then they will be submerged into the Golgi apparatus and will release the packaged protein material into the Golgi apparatus for further changes and for further modifications. So that's how you can understand the work of ER. Now, on the other hand, smooth ER acts as a storage organelle. It is important in the creation, means synthesis and storage of the lipid and steroids. Steroids are a type of ringed organic molecules used for many purposes in an organism. They are not always about building the muscle mass of weightlifter cells in your body that releases oils also have more SER than most of the cells. Sarcoplasmic reticulum SER is a variation of the SER and means this is a type of smooth endoplasmic reticulum and it is able to store many ions in solution that cell will need at the later time. When a cell need to do something immediately, it doesn't make sense to search the environment for the extra ions that may or may not be floating around. So that's why this sarcoplasmic reticulum will store the ions, and then the cell we need the ions, so it will be released from there and cell will use these ions. So it is easier to have them stored in a package or pack for easy use. For example, when you are running around and your muscles are active, they will need calcium ions. The sarcoplasmic reticulum further can release these ions immediately. When you are resting, they are able to store them for the later use. So that is the best example to understand the role of sarcoplasmic reticulum. And the sarcoplasmic reticulum is the some variation of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It's kind of a type of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. On the other hand, rough RER was also mentioned in the section on ribosomes, and it is very important in the synthesis and packaging of the protein. And ribosomes are basically attached to the membrane of the making it rough. The RER is also attached to the nuclear envelope that surrounds the nucleus. This direct connection between the perinuclear space and the lumen of the allow for the movement of the molecules through the both membrane. Here you can understand this difference in between rough and smooth You can simply understand by the diagrammatic representation. Here you can see this is the rough this is smooth and these are the ribosomes which are attached on the surface of the and these are the tubes of the and this one is the lumens of the and this is a basic difference. And again you can see the different shapes, like this is known as cisternae, and these are the vesicles which are having enough amount of the proteins, and these are the tubule forms. All are the morphological forms of the endoplasmic reticulum. Now come to the role of the in protein synthesis and folding. One of the major functions of the is to serve as a site for protein synthesis for secreted and integral membrane proteins, as well as a subpopulation of the cytosolic proteins. Protein synthesis requires localization of the ribosomes to the cytosolic phase of the and the conical pathway that regulates the protein synthesis involves co-translation docking of the messenger RNA ribosome complex on the membrane. Translation of the secretory or integral proteins initiates in the cytosol. Then ribosomes containing these messengers RNA are recruited to the membrane via a signal sequence within the amino terminus of the nascent polypeptide that is recognized and bound by the single recognition particle, which is known as SRP. The complex of the messenger RNA, ribosome, nascent polypeptide and SRP is targeted to the where it docks to the SRP receptor. The translation continues on the and the emerging polypeptides can co-translationally enters the through the translocon, which is a channel that contains several SAC proteins and spans the lipid bilayer. So this is the complete mechanism where protein synthesis happens and folding happens, and that how the polypeptide will transfer or enter into the ER by the translocon. And on the other hand, if we talk about the lipid biogenesis, so while the ER is a major site of the protein synthesis, it is also a site of bulk membrane biogenesis, lipid biogenesis, which occurs in the endomembrane compartment that includes the ER and Golgi apparatus. Proteins and phospholipids, which are the major lipid component of the membrane, are transferred and biochemically modified in the region of ER, that is in close juxtaposition to the Golgi apparatus. The region known as ER Golgi intermediate compartment ERGIC is rich in tubules and vesicles. When lipid and mobilized to the ERGIC, they are distributed throughout the cell through organelle contacts or secretory vesicles. The cis Golgi, which is the closest structure of the ERGIC, leads to the trans-Golgi network, where vesicles carrying newly synthesized secretory proteins from the ER form and bud. The trans-Golgi network are translationally being viewed as the main sorting station in the cell, where cytosolic cargo adapters are recruited to bind indirectly or directly and transport proteins or lipids. Now come to the third function of the lipid molecule of the ER, which is calcium Ca plus 2 metabolism. Finally, while the ER is a major site of the synthesis and the transport of a variety of the biomolecules, it is also a major store of intracellular calcium ions. The typically cytosolic concentration of the calcium ion is approximately 100 nanomole, while the calcium ion concentration in the lumen of the ER is 100 to 800 micromole, and the extracellular concentration of calcium ion is approximately 2 millimole. The ER contains several calcium channels, ryanodine receptors, and inositol 1,4,5 triphosphate IP3 receptor and IP3R that are responsible for the releasing calcium ion from the ER into the cytosol when intracellular level is very low. Here you can simply understand by the concept of the difference of the calcium ion concentration. Here you can simply see that the calcium ion concentration in the lumen of the ER is 100 to 800 micromole. Okay, and in the cytosol, calcium ion concentration is approximately 100 nanomole, means very less than in comparison to lumen of the ER. And on the other hand, extracellular concentration of calcium ion is approximately 2 millimole. So when the cytosolic calcium ion concentration is very low, so all the receptors and channels, calcium channels, means ryanodine receptors, inositol I145 triphosphate receptors will be active, and further they will be responsible for the releasing of the calcium ions from the ER lumen into the cytosol. Means from the ER lumen, calcium ion will transport and they will release into the cytosol to maintain the calcium ion concentration, required concentration. So that's how all these three major work of the ER, endoplasmic reticulum, protein synthesis and folding, lipid biogenesis, and third one is a calcium metabolism. So this is the sum up of this session, and this session is powered by Digital Version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University Jaipur. If you have any query, then mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.